Hey guys, welcome to today's video. My name is Vienna Lay and I am your local real estate expert in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It is May 2021, and if you have been in the housing market or have been keeping a close eye on what's been going on with it, it has been a steadily strong seller's market since 2020 happened. And I only know that because I started my career last year, and ever since I started, it's been nothing but a seller's market. Now, there are a number of reasons for this being that inventory is low, as well as interest rates being at an all-time low in the past few decades, which means buyers are more likely to be in the market and sellers are not really selling because of what happened last year. And so the inventory stays low. So of course the seller's market is really strong as of the recording of this video. So I of course wanted to make a video to help my buyers out there right now. And I know it's tough for anybody who's looking at the housing market, but this video is solely focused on how you as a buyer could appeal to a seller when selecting a home and perhaps hopefully closing on that home during what could be a pretty unfavorable scenario for buyers, it being so strong of a seller's market right now. All right, so we are going to be listing a few things when it comes to making a strong offer. Now, these are the things that I'm just going to rattle off real quick when submitting an offer and making sure that you as the buyer are still comfortable with putting in a strong offer and are able to present this strong offer to make sure that my buyers or real estate professionals buyers are safe, while also being in a more favorable position than someone who may not know these tricks, or perhaps making sure that you guys as buyers are still stable when putting in a strong offer. So just to start off, one of the things that I feel like is the most obvious way to submit a strong offer on a home that you love is to bid at least at asking price. At least being the key words, because in a strong seller's market, unfortunately, there are going to be a lot of multiple offers, and these are in extreme cases being multiple offers and more than likely over or at asking price. So you may have to think up of the fact that, hey, you may have to add more money onto the sales price you're offering on a house just to even be looked at sometimes. So that is one way that I feel like is pretty common and pretty common sense as to making a strong offer, is of course a higher sales price than what they are putting on the market for. Now, the other thing that you can do is paying more out of your pocket as a buyer. Now, if you have been in the market before, or have bought a house before, or have talked to people who bought a house before, kind of the standard, at least here in Texas, sellers usually pay for the title fees, the other association, like homeowners association fees, like closing fees, stuff like that, sometimes survey and all these additional paperwork that I cannot explain all of them in this video, but sellers are usually responsible for some of those title transfer fees. And buyers, if you have a couple thousand or a few $1,000s in your bank account to pay those fees for them, and the seller can just net at the cost of, you know, selling the house at whatever sales price you guys agreed upon without putting in extra money, that is another thing that can make your offer a lot stronger to sellers if that is a concern for the seller on the house that you guys love. Another thing that could make a really strong offer is omitting or making your option period a lot shorter. To make your offer a lot stronger, you can even opt out of an option period, or you can make a much shorter option period, say more between 3 to 5 days if you're crazy, but you are okay with that and you can get inspections done during that time and negotiations, or put in more option money. And so instead of $100 to $200, you may put in something crazy like $300 or $500 if that is to show to the seller like, oh, I get to keep more money, whether or not they follow through with it. And that may be a slight detail that can make or break your offer getting accepted if other buyers have similar idea. And so those are some things you can do and play around with option period and money to make your offer a little bit stronger. The other thing that's kind of related to that is earnest money. If you put more earnest money down, it could show like, oh, they're like really serious. They really want to get into this house so that when option period is over, more money is at risk. So it really shows sellers how serious you are as buyers. So adding more money into earnest is another way of making a strong offer. Now, a huge hot topic that happened last year is this addendum where you can attach onto your offer that is basically an appraisal waiver. I'll go ahead and put it right here somewhere. I mean, you won't read it because the text is too small to put and crop in this video, but basically it is a piece of paper that gives you a full waiver, a partial waiver, or an additional right to waiver in addition to the contract or to the offer that you are putting in for the house. And basically what this means, not to take up too much time, is that you as a buyer will not back out of the contract if you are going through a loan, of course. If the house appraises under, then these are the reasons why you will not back out and you have the funds to make up to make that house sell for what you are offering, especially when you are offering over asking price. That sounds a little bit crazy because this means that you as a buyer needs to also provide a proof of funds, or hopefully you have the money to make up that price difference if the house doesn't appraise for what you are offering. So that is a huge piece of paper that was a big topic all last year and continuing into 2021. To make a strong offer, you are willing to stick with the contract even if the house doesn't appraise for what you offer, and you can pay it to that amount that you're offering for the house. And so going with that piece of paper, of course, it is a huge risk for the buyer, but undoubtedly it still gets used a lot in a seller's market and makes for an extremely strong offer. But of course, only use this when you absolutely have to and love the house that much, and if you have the funds. Speaking of funds, the other piece of paper or document that you should be attaching to, say, especially an over asking offer, is your proof of funds as a buyer, showing that you have this amount of money in your bank account, or an approval letter from your lender saying that yes, this buyer has the money to make up the difference of whatever the sales price is, what they could get the loan for, and how much they're overbidding. And so that, of course, shows the seller's agent and the seller that, hey, I mean, if it doesn't appraise, then we have proof that they can make up that difference. And so it puts more good faith in you as a buyer that you are not only serious in getting this house, but you are able to get that house for the offer price that you put in for the home that you guys love. And so proof of funds is going to be shown via document from either your bank statement or what's in your bank account, or a lender approving that yes, that they have those funds and so they are safe. Or you could also attach a pre-qualification or pre-approval. And this, I feel like, is pretty standard, and real estate professionals would usually work with buyers only if they're at least pre-approved, which is they've talked to a lender and they're getting to work on getting fully qualified for exactly the amount that they are approved for. And so there are two steps. It's pre-approval, where you initially talk to a lender and the lender gives you the buyer like, hey, yes, they can close with this amount, and that we are willing to give them this amount for a house as a loan, but pre-qualification is the next step up to make an even stronger offer, where you talk to the lender and they ask you for all your work information and your credit score and all that stuff. So it's a more solidified number as to what for sure that you as a buyer can qualify for a loan with this lender. And so pre-approval, good. Pre-qualification, yeah, that's where you wanna be. And so getting to the pre-qual is pretty much encouraged. Pre-approval is good, but of course, get pre-qualified if you can when you turn in your offer, turn in that letter as well. So those are a good number of things that I feel like I covered in the scope of how to make a strong offer. Now, I tried to go through this as quickly as possible, and there are, I feel like, maybe some other ways I may not be aware about, but these are some things to consider and keep in the back of your mind as a buyer when you are picking a home that you love and you are unfortunately in a more favorable to sellers housing market by being in a seller's market and shopping for a home. These are some things that you can do to your offer if you are comfortable with it. Now, I want to end this video on kind of a warning and kind of sort of an encouragement to buyers out there to please consult with the real estate agent you are working with when even considering these possibilities. Now, your agent is your guide. They are your advisor. They are the ones that will help you to also further understand where you guys are with your money and what you can do so that they are fulfilling their fiduciary duties to you and making sure that you as a buyer are taken care of and you aren't in an awful position when you are committed to buying a house. And so talk to your real estate professional. This is just so important, and I feel like I say it in every video because it is that important. Communication is key, and to my real estate agents out there, ask them everything and overly communicate. That is something that I feel that agents may forget to do, even though it sounds like common sense. If your client is reaching out to you more than you are reaching out to them, then you're not communicating enough. And that sounds so harsh, and I've been told this many times, and this is not to be a personal attack, but what it is supposed to be is a reminder to show that us real estate agents need to be more communicative and just more open to our clients, and being even overly informative to make sure that our buyers, especially in a strong seller's market, or vice versa, our sellers in a strong buyer's market, are well advised to make these strong financial decisions and make these strong offers without compromising too much, and which could lead to delayed closings, cold feet, and buyer's remorse potentially when dealing with such a polarized market. So this is not an attack to anybody. This is a reminder to not only everyone who's watching, but to myself as well. A lot has been going on as we are getting into the usually busy months in the real estate market. And so if the seller's market continues, this is just something of more of a reminder to my buyers out there, as well as real estate agents, including myself, on how to navigate through this crazy market we're in. So yeah, if I am missing anything, then please let me know. If you're a buyer, tell me what's been going on. Like, I want to know what's been going on with you guys, and my heart goes out to you in the seller's market that we are experiencing right now in 2021. And if you're a real estate agent, leave your input down below. I'd love to read those. If you love this video or like it, then go ahead and like it. Subscribe to my channel for more real estate content like this one. And if you found this useful, you want to share this info, go ahead and share it as well. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!